Good afternoon, everyone. I am just going to make this pretty short with some updates for you. One of the big updates coming from Human Resources is we are changing our payroll system. So we have been with ADP for quite some time, and we are switching to a new software called Paycor. And we have had to push back the date a little bit just with some of our technology things. So we are looking to go live with that the end of October. So stay tuned for all of the updates. There's going to be a lot, so this is going to affect everybody as far as just some of the changes. So we're going to have stuff posted down in the break room. We're going to send out email reminders, all of that. So once we go live, everyone is going to have to log in and set up their account with the new payroll company. All your information is going to go over from ADP to Paycor. So you don't have to worry about that. You're only going to receive one W-2. All of that information is going to roll over, but you are going to have to set up, a new username and things like that. So we'll send all of that information to you. One of the things that we ask for each of you to go ahead and do for us is look in ADP currently at all of your information. So make sure your address is correct. Make sure your your emergency contact is correct. Your phone number, all of those things, email address. Please take the opportunity right now to review that information and make sure it's updated. Oftentimes, emergency contacts change and we don't change that information, or we have a new phone number, or there's a new email address you want listed, or we move. So just make sure that information, if it is not correct, what we're asking you to do, it's a little bit different, but please come see me or Brooke. If we're not there, come see Jenny, so that way we can get the information, because we do have to update right now currently in both systems. So we just want to make sure we're not missing anything. So I do ask each one of you to look at that information, address, phone number, email address, emergency contact, make sure all of that is the most updated information. Let's see. You will still be able to mobile punch with Paycor. So that is still going to be in place. It's a little bit tighter with you have to physically be in the building. So no more, and we've talked about this before, but no more coming, trying to do it from the parking lot. You have to be in, and it's going to be a little bit tighter, proximity for that. One thing that I just want to reiterate is when you clock in, you need to be ready to go to work and start your shift. So that doesn't mean to pull your car in the circle, come inside the building, clock in, use the restroom, any of those things, go back, move your car. That means you need to be ready to be and start your shift. So, but we are still going to do that, and you'll have the ability to do the mobile, so you will have to download the Paycor app on your phones for that. So we'll kind of update when all that happens. We are going to have new time clocks. So we need to load everybody in the time clock. It's going to be a little bit different. So stay tuned for information from us, because we're going to have to reprogram everybody into that. So lots of moving parts here, but we're going to go ahead and make it happen, get everything together. So please be patient. Sometimes our doors are going to be closed in HR as we're doing training, as we're making sure all the pieces are together. So if there's something that you need right then, doors are shut, give us a call, send us an email so we can follow up with you on that. Let's see. The next one is benefit updates. As everyone knows, Humana is leaving the commercial market the end of the year, so we're going to have Humana still in place till the end of the year. We haven't decided on a new carrier for our insurance. We're still looking at what's the best for our employees as far as network, cost, availability, all of those things. So more to come, about that. We should have all of that decided in the next few weeks. Open enrollment will be in November, probably middle part of November. We are going to have a benefits team that comes on site to help everybody enroll. So it will be an online active enrollment, but we will have extra team members here to help enroll everybody. And also if you have questions about the plans, programs, all of those things. So we'll communicate all of that out on dates and carrier and all that information, but that's still a very active decision for us, trying to get that. Lastly, we are having a job fair at Clifton next week. So this is Wednesday, September 20th from 11 to 3. So if you know anybody that's looking for a position, please send them over to Clifton. They're gonna do active interviews, all of those things. Jenny and I will be there as well. You will get a referral bonus for referring anybody, even if it's the Clifton campus. That is still in effect. So make sure if you know somebody that's looking for a position or you think they'll be great at Nazareth, refer them, ask them to indicate that on the application, resume, or in the interview that you referred them, even if it's for our sister campus, because that bonus is for everybody. So that is all I have. Updates, short and quick, but lots of stuff going on in human resources. Does anybody have any questions for me? Okay, great, thank you.
Great job. All right. Thank you for this opportunity to give you guys a quick update on the Nazareth Homes Foundation. And specifically, I'm going to give you an update on the Sandra King Excellence in Education Fund because that's the one that's most pertinent to us here. It's pertinent because of our scholarship awardees, and it's also pertinent because you as donors make it possible. So you've probably seen, you probably saw us running around with the big check and the balloons and all that. A lot of you had a hand in helping us celebrate our most recent recipients on both campuses. If you are a recipient and you're in here, I don't think we have, can you stand? No, because there's nobody in here. That's okay. That's okay. But these are our recipients, and as you know also, with the changes, this was the first round for this year. We will also have a second round with the next deadline being October 1st. So encourage folks to apply. Everyone, even if you have received in the past, is eligible. You do have to apply again. So all of this is on the website on the employee page. So I wanted to give a quick update about that. The second thing I wanted to give you an update about is the actual employee giving. And so like I said, this fund, if I'm not mistaken, started with donations in-house here. You guys, we built this fund together. And so I looked back, and since we started, which was in 2020 of October, over $20,000 has come from our employees doing payroll deduction. Some people give $1 a paycheck, $5, $10. Some people give a lot more than that. But please know that every one of those dollars makes a huge difference. It allows us to award the scholarships for one thing. The other thing that it allows is for me to go out and share with donors that we are supporting this fund in-house. And we want it to grow. We want it to grow to do more things than just scholarships, as well as bigger scholarships. And the fact that we're doing this helps donors get on board too. So it makes a huge difference. I want to let you know that you'll have an opportunity first of all, if you are already giving, thank you. Secondly, if you're not and you want to, You can talk to me about it anytime, but also at the benefits fair that Aaron mentioned, we're working on a way to make that easy for you to set up your payroll deduction. So that's a way to do it. And then just a little plug for a big event tomorrow, which is Give for Good Louisville. Your inboxes may be full from all of the nonprofits doing this. I think it's a super fun and super cool day for the city because all of our nonprofits, and we have so many, Louisville has more nonprofits than gas stations. We all have great causes, but we know our favorite cause right here under this roof. So we're raising money for the Sandra King Excellence in Education Fund. Every donation makes a huge difference. It doesn't matter the amount. The cool thing about Give for Good is that there are other donors in the city. Everybody from the Swope family, Churchill Downs, all kinds of people are boosting donations. So a well-placed and a lucky $10 donation could turn into $20,000 for a lucky nonprofit that we hope is us. So one prize, so I've decided just real quick, I'm gonna make my gifts tomorrow a little strategic. I'm gonna decide how much I'm gonna give, and then I'm gonna give several throughout the day. So I'm going to stay up till midnight tonight and make the first because there's $1,000 on the line for whoever makes the very first gift to Give for Good. So I'm gonna try, right? And then, so there's a gazillion prizes this year. Then another one that you can target is the greatest 2 minutes in giving, which is 5:15 to 5:17 tomorrow afternoon. And somebody is gonna get $20,000. So last year, we broke the internet, as they said. But they assured us that this year, they are ready for it. So game on for sure. So if you have any questions, and the other thing, just share. We have done so much social media thanks to Melissa and our PR partners. Push something out, whether it's on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever you spend your time. Push it out. Let people know how important it is and that you're supporting, and invite them to support and push it out too. So that's all I have, I think. Any questions about the foundation? Give for Good, Sandra King.
It was her birthday.
And she made a donation
She made a
this
birthday
week.
donation.
Yeah. Also, one more thing. So our Give for Good is actually already open. I didn't even realize it, but it's already open. Mm-hmm. So our very first donation came from one of our scholarship recipients, Shay over at Clifton. I mean, that was like, oh my gosh, it might as well, that's it. I mean, I was just so excited. So it's gonna be a great day. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, Carrie. Thanks, Aaron. Okay, that got me all fired up.
Sorry, too much allergy.
So, great to see you all. Thank you for all you're doing. We couldn't do anything if it weren't for you. I always want to say that. So I have a few things I want to share in terms of announcements, and then I want to provide the things that I think you're interested in. So kind of here goes. If you recognize this slide, I actually had it up here 3 months ago. It's the same value that we talked about 3 months ago. And that's because it is so important. It is like, to me, the absolute must, right? It sets the stage for everything else to come, is being in a spirit of cooperation. And every day I hear so many wonderful things that each of you say and do. At the same time, I hear a few that make me go, kind of hurts a little bit. And so I want to talk about that in terms of lifting some of us up that are doing things so well that I hope we all see what's going on around us. You know, I've lived a while now, and what I find is that the happiest people in life are the ones that can see far. You see outside of yourself, and you see the big picture. So I do want to give you a few big picture things today. I want to start with some news. Some of this news I think most of us know, but I'm never certain, so I want to go over it. I want to start with some leadership changes. The first are two women sitting here on the front row. So this month, Kim has agreed to step up in a role of what we're calling Director of Clinical Services. It's something she's been doing for a long time. We've made it formal. It's something that I have hoped she would do for many years. It's a natural. Kim is a natural leader. She studies up, she works, she digs in. If anybody wants to know how to make yourself happier at work, study up on Kim Hobson. Because when things get tough, she's always looking out, right? How can I help somebody else? How can I upskill somebody else? How can I teach? How can I serve? You want a real life example of servant leadership, look right there on the front row. 21 years. 21 years. So I'm going to talk a lot about commitment and service, but I don't want any one of you to think that it's connected to years of service. It's simply connected to service. It's simply connected to how do you dig in? How do you look out? How do you find? How do you hold up that mirror? I'm going to tell you, if you are unhappy in your job, instead of switching jobs, because guess what? You're going to take yourself wherever you go. That was on a little plaque in 1970 something when I started Our Lady of Peace. Bloom where you are planted. I had that in my office for about 10 years, that sign, because that is truly the way it works. So Kim has stepped up to that role. Her key result areas for us are going to be our quality programs, our education of all of us, our collaboration with our medical providers and our ancillary service providers, our survey management, and our compliance. 1 minute I want to say on survey before I move to Tiffany. I want to give you some stats. Who knows the last time we had a survey here at Nazareth Home? We have one last year? No. Year before? No. Year before that? No. 2019, my friends, 2019. Wow. Do you even remember 2019? 2019 is the last time we had our annual participation with Medicare and Medicaid survey on both campuses. Kentucky is scoring the 4th worst in being behind. CMS is very unhappy with Kentucky. That has implications for all of us here. As you may be reading in the newspaper, the federal government, through its agent, the state of Kentucky, has closed 2 nursing facilities in the last 6 months, and they got 2 geared up, 2 more. It's really tough. That's complicated by the fact that the state of Kentucky, because of decisions that they've made along the way, not funding pensions, not raising benefit packages, not keeping up with wage, they have, I'm told, about 9 staff here in Louisville where they should have 35. So they're contracting out these surveys to the federal government. And I've already told you where the federal government stands with the state of Kentucky. In addition to that, in that time that we weren't having surveys, you all know what was going on, COVID. We all know that families were not welcome in nursing centers across the Commonwealth. So families were nervous and they filed a lot of complaints. So even in very good properties, one of our major competitors here in Louisville, when they had their survey, they had 40 complaints. That takes a lot of time on the part of the survey team, takes a lot of time on the part of the staff, and tempers flare and performance gets stressed. And then let's just face the fact we're all rusty. We're a little bit rusty. We probably were much better at communicating with all of our publics a few years ago than we are right now because we're rusty. So we're a little concerned, not just a little, but significant concern about our performance. So please know that, and I know it comes as no news to you, that every day what we do and what we say is absolutely on the line. We're representing who we are every day and in every way. So I encourage you to keep holding that mirror up, digging in. If you're not happy at work, figure out what to do about it first in you. And look outside. Others, others, others. What can I do for others? That's the message all day long. And that's what will get us all to a better day. So let's talk about Tiffany. Tiffany is now promoted to Director of Nursing. Y'all can clap. Tiffany's been here 15 years?
Since 2006.
Yeah. So Tiffany was, when my first experience with Tiffany was when she was a nurse up on Spalding. I think she left us for a while, came back. She was unit manager, if you all don't know, for about 7 years on Charity Court before she came into the role that she's in now. So Tiffany's been managing so many of our quality programs for a very long time. Absolute rock star on our fall program. That has bled over into her help with HR. Maybe she's interacted with many of you. If you've ever had an accident here, she looks at that and tries to find prevention. So super, super excited for Tiffany to step up into this role where she truly belongs after these years. Other big news, Laura Skaggs, who's been here longer than me, not as long as James, but longer than me. Laura was an LPN here. You may know her father worked here. Her mom worked at Peace with Donna and me. Her family's long been associated with Nazareth Home. Laura is a great example of just what we're talking about with these two. Dig in, learn, try something new. We thought we'd never blast her off of Spalding, but guess what? She took the role in recovery, and now look at the results. Look what she's done for all of us. Look what she's done for all of us. With her persistence, her intellect, her never give up, never give in, just doing it. Every one of us have benefited. So thanks to Laura, and now she's in that role. So we're looking for new leaders on Recovery to Home. Probably gonna find some right under this roof. And then in our Maria neighborhood, Shelley has taken that role of that neighborhood manager. So looking forward to her leadership. You wanna have a good day, hang out with Shelley. She's gonna find a way to make something good happen. Great example of digging in, right? Looking outside, doing something for other people, making it happen. Lauren, who was in the Maria neighborhood, now trying something new. Lauren's a nurse, she's in medical records. This is a new way for us. Thinking about how to grow a little bit different leadership. How can we maximize something else? Upskilling in our community of cooperation and building each other up. Another change, Sharon Weichert's not in here. Sharon Weichert promoted into her role assistant administrator. I don't think there's a person in this room that doesn't trust Sharon Weichert. She has been silently one of the biggest team members for me. We've worked in partnership here for all of these years. Wouldn't rather be in a foxhole with anybody than Sharon Weichert. She goes seamlessly. She's balanced our financial health. I can't say enough for Sharon. So I'm excited to see her move. We've had a lot of trouble moving her because guess what? The job she did, super important to every one of us sitting here. We can't get out the gate without admissions. So we're excited. Liz wanted to move. She loves Nazareth Home. She wanted something different. So she's moved into admissions. We already see the benefit that we have with our rock star Jennifer Gorder in admissions. Are you all getting the theme here? Good. Because I got it, and I could not be happier that these things are happening to our great and with our great people. Kelly, we've hired someone new. She was known to many people in our community. So she's now up on recovery to home, never missed a beat, started that job. Liz was on vacation. Sharon was pulled somewhere else. She worked 4 days up there completely by herself. And she's doing it, so thanks to her. One piece of news that I'm not happy about is our girl Julie. You knew I was gonna say something. So Julie is moving to another part of her work career. You know, when we found Julie, she was in a school as a school counselor. Jenny Bilkey, if you all remember Jenny Bilkey, who worked part-time here and then went to Clifton. We needed a little help at Clifton. Jenny reached out to her good work partner, Julie, and she started doing part-time social work case management there. We needed an activity director here. I said, Julie, I think you're doing this job already. Why don't you come on over across town and look at what she's done. Look at what she's done. The life that she's brought. So, great lessons in this, my friends. There's a lot of people that have left Nazareth Home that we love, and they still love us, and it's building our community and our word of mouth and our goodwill even deeper. So once again, the power of our relationships, the cleanliness of our relationships, the health of our relationships with one another reap deep benefit. So thank you, Julie. We're gonna miss you. All right, I think that's enough of the people story. I think, again, I want to thank Brooke for all that she does. Brooke has changed her work schedule recently to provide more presence. There's so much that goes on behind closed doors around here that I just want to lift up in this moment and thank Brooke. How long you been here, Brooke? Yeah, 06, she said. So again, great example, somebody who's done almost every job in here and done it very well. So thank you, Brooke. Okay, couple of announcements about Clifton. I think I told you when we were together before that we were gonna add beds at Clifton. We were approved for 11 new skilled nursing beds at Clifton. We filed a CON and that was approved. Back to that delay that the cabinet has because they just don't have enough staff. It took us until the middle of this week to get all those permits. signed and through. So we'll start that construction October 1st at Clifton, converting that area. So we'll have 11 really good looking rooms there as you come in down to the left, for those of you that are familiar with that property. So we're super excited about that. The apartments for priests are going well. We have 4 priests living in there. We're getting ready to respite the Passionist priests, some of those. So when all that's done, we'll have 7 or 8 men on that apartment area, and we're really excited about that. We're also looking at developing another floor of apartments, independent apartments at Clifton for people like you and me. We've had a lot of community needs assessment going on. We've interviewed a lot of folks that are trying to find placement for people in the community, and we feel very confident about that. So once we finish that construction, we'll be looking to add to that other apartment floor. Do you all know about what's going on here with the smart toilet? Who knows about the smart toilet? Okay, well, I'm gonna tell you. I get to tell you about the smart toilet. So, a few years ago, I attended a bio conference. And what that was about is all the things that are happening now that are gonna change the way we learn about our health. You know, we go get a urinalysis, you know, we pee in a cup. We get a blood test, we get a needle stuck. Some of us aren't very good sticks. Some of us don't like any of those 2 things I've just said. The day is coming, folks, for those of you that wear a smart watch. Why already aren't we doing all of these things with a smartwatch? Why do we have to go through all the things we currently go through to find out about our test? Well, we are knocking on the door of not having to do that much anymore. So the smart toilet collects our daily elimination. Daily elimination. It reads it. It can say if we are dehydrated. It can say if there's something in our urine or in our stool that shouldn't be there. It establishes a baseline. So we started piloting on garden side, I don't know, 4 months ago maybe. And what we found is we learn more. Again, imagine you're the person who's living on garden side, and it's kind of like challenges you to get through your day. You really don't want somebody talking to you about can they look in your toilet, or can they get a urine sample, or can they get a stool specimen. That kind of distresses your sense of well-being, right? It may disturb your peace of mind. It also isn't so easy on the carer either, right? If I'm the nurse or the nursing assistant that has to communicate that, that's kind of a challenge. So for me, as all of these technologies are just coming towards us so fast, the things I look for is, does it make something we gotta do easier to do? And is it easier for both the team member and the elder at the same time? If I get a yes to both those things, then my mind is really open to look at that. So what we found is we've given fewer enemas, fewer meds. It's less hassle. It's more dignity. It's more privacy. It's a win-win. So now we're gonna move that to our Maria neighborhood. My real goal is to move it to recovery. And we're working with the developer to make sure that can happen. The elevated toilet seats up there, frankly, kind of threw us for a little modification. So that I want to let you know, because Kim and Tracy did a panel at a CDW fly-in a couple of months ago and talked to a group of guests, people like us, about it. And we are getting ready to kind of do what I call a dog and pony show. So we'll be going around with this message. And then Melissa is working with the next thing I'm going to tell you about, a new PR firm that we're working with. The reason that we got Wave out here, Sarah, for your state fair, and WLKY. So we have a new team that we're engaged with to do some rebranding and branding and stronger messaging of Nazareth Home. We've been working with them for a few weeks. We love, love, love what they're doing. Think you're gonna love it too. To get these stories out of why would anyone give us any reason to contribute to what we're doing. So we know we have a lot of whys. Often we take things for granted and we're not really very good or as good as we'd like to be about sharing those things. So we've got a new team working with us, and you're gonna be seeing some of that. And I think, my friends, that brings me to the end of my announcements. All right, now, here we go. Yep. These are the things that I always try to cover with you, but this one, wow. These charts are really wow. So, Jenny, thanks. Aaron, thanks. But it's really thanks everybody. And Kim and Tiffany for sure. Because they have done so many things for the schedules here, and now they're working with the team at Clifton on how to make some changes in their schedules. They help Dawn, they help everybody, right? They help everybody, and their help shows. So just look at nursing since January. We've come from 19 open positions down to 8.5. You can clap now. But it goes all the way across. You know, EVS, which is EVS week, folks. Clap for. We have absolutely well, I'm talking to all campuses, but I am going to give these folks here on this campus a shout, because I don't know any place that has a whole group, a whole department of people that can't do enough for somebody else. Would you agree? These men and women, from the time they hit this building until they leave, they are working for others. They're making it happen for other people. They're keeping us clean, they're keeping us safe, they're keeping the number one thing that's always said about Nazareth Home intact, right? Right. So thank you to all of you. So look at that. I mean, it's amazing, right? So this is the cooperation. This is the community. This is the upskilling. This is the looking outside to others. And it's the same at Clifton. At Clifton, look at what happened in February. I mean, we lost ground from January to February. At Clifton, we were up to 27 open positions. It's now 14. You can still clap. So, I've said to you before, and I'm just gonna say it over and over. Don't think what you do doesn't matter. Don't think the world is getting away from us and we can't change it. Don't think that you don't have influence at your job. Don't think that you can't change stuff. You can, and you are, and we will keep doing it. Thanks, Melissa. And then this, I just always show you where we are in terms of our delivery of the actual, now, you may have seen CMS, you know, the folks that aren't too crazy about us. They have released a staffing mandate. Now, that staffing mandate is gonna be under a comment period for 60 days. We will, when it comes to the hours that we work, we're already beating that mandate. What's in the mandate that we here at Nazareth Home have never accepted, that we absolutely have to have, and that is an RN every 24 hours of every day. We make decisions based on plan of care, we make decisions based on acuity, we make decisions based on the key results of the care that is to be required, and we staff according to that. We have never staffed according to the credential of a person. We staff to the patient and the elder and what they need. And guess what? We are darn good at it. So I'll just tell you, I object to this staffing mandate. I've testified against it for years. Everybody knows that doesn't mean Mary Haynes doesn't want to staff well. You can look at these numbers, my friends. We're staffing better than anybody in the Commonwealth. But I'm sure I'm probably not the only one of you that likes to row my own boat. So I do object to the mandate. That doesn't mean that I'm for shaving anything off what's needed. Okay. Clifton? Yeah, I mean, it's, the Clifton is pretty much the same. So let's just move on. All right, and here is my final good news. So many thanks to you all, many thanks to Melissa who, you know, drives. We gotta participate, we gotta participate, we gotta participate, and she drove that bus and you all jumped on and we won. So, thank you. All right, now's the time. Like I say, ask me a question, throw a tomato, whatever, whatever makes you feel good. I do have on a new jacket though, so if you are gonna throw anything, let me take that off. But I love you guys, love working with you. It's a pleasure and an honor for me to represent you every day. And I just couldn't be more grateful for each of you. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.